Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Over the years, I've recorded many videos, and this particular character keeps showing up every now and then. This is Judy Shelton, and I'm sure you guys know who she is. She's an American economic advisor and former advisor to President Donald Trump. She's known for her advocacy to return to the gold standard and for her criticisms of the Federal Reserve. Now, this is very important because I have just recently discovered something that I thought was kind of interesting. And considering that Donald Trump is now vying for the White House again, I thought I would bring this video to you guys today. We know Donald Trump is bullish on cryptocurrency. We also know he is bullish on the gold standard. So I guess now the question is, will Donald Trump reinstate Judy Shelton in a major position in his cabinet if he does in fact win the White House? So I wanted to start this video off with a few videos that I recorded over the past few years. I did this particular one in February of 2020. Basically, it's outlining Judy Shelton's position on cryptocurrencies, even back at that time, back in 2020. Listen to this. Judy Shelton, okay, whether you like her or hate her, this is what she's come out to say. President Trump's nominee to the Federal Reserve Board, Judy Shelton, told lawmakers that digitizing the US dollar could help maintain the USD's ascendancy in global commerce. Guys, this is all strategic. The US does not want to be replaced by another country for that reserve currency. And now with CBDCs coming out, the game is changing and it's getting interesting. Shelton said the US needs fintech innovations to stay ahead of other countries. So here's the article here from Coinbase, guys. I will link it in the description for those of you guys who want to read the whole thing. But Judy Shelton, President Trump's nominee to the Federal Reserve Board, told lawmakers that digitizing the US dollar could help maintain the currency's ascendancy in global commerce. Yes, it is a dominant reserve currency, she says, but we cannot rest on our laurels in that regard. Rival nations are working very diligently to have an alternative to the dollar. I think it is very important that we get ahead of the curve to ensure that the dollar continues to offer the best currency in the world. So just going to skip down here. It talks a little bit about China and the Facebook Libra thing and how China could be a potential disruptor with regard to trading. And since they're the #2 economy in the world, how their CBDC could be used. And I'm sure they are positioning themselves to be that reserve currency as well. But 2 weeks ago, former officials from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission set up a nonprofit to design proposals for a digital dollar. And earlier this week, Fed Chairman Powell told lawmakers that Libra was a wake-up call, as we had said back in June, guys, for the central bank, while emphasizing that its research was in its early stages. From gold bug to rate cutter, and I'm going to get to this in a second because XRP Darren also mentions this here. At Fame21 More on Twitter, they're intentionally trying to crash the system. So this exactly from this article, okay? I'm just going to read what he circled here, though, because it's really, really interesting. More recently, however, Shelton has come under criticism for supporting the president's position that interest rates, already historically low, should be cut further. Why this is important? Well, let's go into investing. Well, first of all, let's talk about Darren Moore's comment. Crashing the system, right? You think automatically that if the system crashes, that's a bad thing. But in this case, if you're a cryptocurrency holder, if you believe in Ripple technology, believe in the future of digital assets, you are kind of looking at this, holding your stash of XRP, thinking to yourself, this will probably benefit me in the future. So that was a bit of an introduction on Judy Shelton's position on cryptocurrencies, the gold standard, and what was going on at that time. Remember, this was a while ago, back in 2020. But since then, she has been in the news and she has commented on other aspects of current market structure. She even mentioned that we could, in fact, go back to the gold standard by 2026. 2026, you say? An interesting date. Guys, I want to show you a clip from this video that I recorded about 3 months ago back in April. What happens in 2026? Listen to this. But then, guys, now we're getting tweets like this. Okay, Judy Shelton thinking something like that, but in 2026, stay tuned. She was retweeting out this tweet here. Okay, 1971, Nixon abolished the gold standard. 2024, are we going to reintroduce it? So going back to this idea of the gold standard, are we going to be ushering it back in? Judy Shelton seems to think so, but by 2026, things that make you go, okay, Judy Shelton, very, very influential. The light shines in the darkness. Matt, L-I-N-Y here, looks like a monetary solution is on the horizon, at least for the United States, thinking something like that. So he's just retweeting out Judy Shelton's tweet, but also, guys, retweeting this out, okay? This video clip, this is from several years ago. I highlighted this clip in a recent video that I did over the last, I think it was about 2 months ago now. I revisited the Jassara Nassara concept in 2024, and if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to play you guys the Judy Shelton clip because this is important. Listen to this.
Would returning to gold standard help the U.S. economy? Can you talk a little about your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say I don't see it so much as returning, but more of a back to the future.
Okay.
I think that what a gold standard stands for is monetary discipline for its own sake. That is, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And I think that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets toss around, or it's part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so you can make plans. And under a gold standard, you did have that stability, and I think that's what's missing. And so I like the idea of a gold standard. I mean, it could be used in a very cryptocurrency way. The point is, do you have a unified money system so that when you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field? And it's very important to have a rules-based approach. And that's why I'm advocating that we need to look at the virtues of a gold standard and try to come up with something much closer to matching those. And then I think we would have more solid economic growth.
Boom goes the dynamite. So returning to a gold standard, guys, Judy Shelton talking about this concept way back when Trump was still in the White House. But she also mentioned, deciding to do this in maybe a cryptocurrency kind of way. So that was the other part that I wanted to bring to your attention. Also, I just happened to notice this. Looks like she has a Phoenix brooch on her lapel. Things that make you go, So, I did talk about Judy Shelton literally 3 days ago in a video that I did. I'm going to refresh your memory with the clip I talked about last week. Listen to this. And something else I just wanted to mention to you guys from Judy Shelton, okay? Judy Shelton has had a very successful career. For those who do not know, she is an American economic advisor to former President Donald Trump. She's also known for her advocacy to return to the gold standard and her criticisms of the Federal Reserve. So somebody clearly in the know. Nice photo she posts here. If you showed us 1 ounce of silver coin minted in the United States and a 1 ounce silver coin minted by Canada, you would be invoking the concept of sovereign national currencies that work across borders by using the same benchmark for determining monetary value. So a very interesting observation here. I think a very obvious one in some ways, but something that we do not think of. So thus, they are interchangeable while maintaining a level playing field for trade and investment. Something she brought up just yesterday, guys, April the 16th. And then Bubba Cugs here, I did not see this, but reminding us, and he's saying, don't act like you don't remember, Judy. A tweet here, actually a like from Judy Shelton, liking the Ripple Wrestler Investors tweet regarding XRP. Now, this is just a GIF image. I don't have the full context of this story. However, the response above, Mexico's earmarked gold bars at the Bank of England vaults, discussing, again, precious metals in terms of perhaps being a new currency or going back to that gold standard or, perhaps using silver in some way, shape, or form. So yes, Judy Shelton did in fact like this tweet from the Ripple Wrestling investor XRP. So sounds as though she knows what this is all about. Sounds as though she understands this cryptocurrency kind of way that she was talking about years before. The cryptocurrency kind of way that she was talking about years before. Now, a few interesting points here. The idea of a gold standard. Obviously, she's still on that. Also, the fact that she did like that Ripple Wrestling investor tweet with regards to XRP. So, she said we can do this in a cryptocurrency kind of way. Is she stating something, maybe even foreshadowing, that by 2026, we could see this happen? Granted, now Trump would have to get into the White House and Trump would have to make her head of the Federal Reserve. I think, considering their history, there is a good possibility of that. Now, I wanted to keep moving, guys, because I wanted to talk about this Jassara Nassara thing. I've done a couple of videos on that in the past. One of my best performing videos, actually, 152,000 views. I did this 4 years ago back in the summer of 2020. And I'm just going to cherry pick some clips here just to give you guys some context on what Jassara Nassara is. Well, here's what it is. In short, it was formed by farmers that were taken advantage of by the government. They incorporated a section of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. This article summarizes Nassara's origins and how it applies to us today. If you guys want to read the article, it is linked in this article here. It's the 14th Amendment. Read it carefully. Section 4 of the amendment. And so here it is. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. So in short, Nassara is forgiveness of credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. It would abolish income tax. It would abolish IRS, creates flat rate, non-essential, new items only sales tax revenue for government. It would increase benefits to senior citizens, returns to constitutional law, establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after Nassara's announcement, monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities or special interest groups, creates new U.S. Treasury currency, a rainbow currency, backed by gold, silver, and platinum and precious metals. That is really important, guys. We're going to get to that point in a bit. Returns constitutional law to all our courts and legal matters, initiates new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional law, eliminates the Federal Reserve System, restores financial privacy, retains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law, ceases all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes peace throughout the world, initiates first phase of worldwide prosperity distribution of vast wealth, which has been accumulating for many decades, releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes, and enables the release of new technologies such as alternative energy devices. So sounds fairly utopian, I would think. Ultimately, though, the powers that be wouldn't want you to have these kinds of freedoms because right now they've got a pretty sweet deal. Have you indebted to your jobs, running that hamster wheel to keep paying them taxes so that you could live a mediocre life? Okay, I'm just going to stop that clip there. I wanted to fast forward to another part of this, discussing in a bit more depth about the gold standard with relation to this. If you guys want to watch this full video, it's a great video, jam-packed with great information. I'm going to link it up here in the top right-hand corner. But let me play you this. It's only about another minute about the gold standard. Now, I kept researching, and I saw this on Twitter, this from Santa Surfing, and this, again, has to do with this whole Jassara Nassara thing, linking to a video with regards to that. What is it? It's a law signed by Clinton. Why didn't it get announced? Bush Sr. and the cabal stopped it. Why did Trump feud with Justice Roberts? He was in on stifling the life-changing law. Congress knew all along. And it is a 19-minute video linked here in this tweet if you guys want to watch that. Now, some things I find interesting. They're talking about returning to the gold standard. And we've heard about this with reference to cryptocurrency and XRP and how this could ultimately change the way the world does business. Well, this from Bretsky, years before 2015, the recent way larger find, India already had 4 times more gold than Fort Knox in their temples and households, in addition to their economic reserves. Now, this is an article here from Bloomberg. India's gold stash dwarfs Fort Knox hoard and Modi wants it. So just giving you guys a bit more context about the potential of going on a gold standard, going back to a gold standard actually, and a 2026 date, according to Judy Shelton. Now let's get back to that Phoenix brooch, guys. Here's a video I did from back in July of 2021, discussing in a bit more depth about that Phoenix brooch that Judy Shelton seems to be wearing, well, more than once, that's for sure. And you know what the Ripple Wrestling investor noticed in this interview? A screen grab here from that same interview. The rise of the Phoenix, Judy Shelton here, looking to be wearing a goldish colored Phoenix brooch. All right. I know. I mean, that is a loaded concept, especially in the XRP community. And so the Ripple Wrestling investor noticing this, rising of the Phoenix, anyone? Well, For those of you guys who do not know about this, you know, I've done plenty of videos. A lot of these videos are bearable guy related, and you know, this idea that there will be a new world currency. This was from an Economist article that was dated back in January of 1988. And at that time, they were saying, you know, in 30 years, we are going to see fiat burn to the ground, and a new world currency will emerge. Now, this was a prediction, or was it a prediction, from The Economist from back in 1988. We have to remember who owns The Economist magazine. It is the Rothschild family. So, possibly a prediction or foreshadowing the future. The phoenix rising from the ashes. So what is the phoenix, for those of you guys who need a Phoenix 101? Well, it's the depiction of that mythical, mysterious bird representing the mantra, always I rise. We choose the phoenix to represent this strength and resilience, as it is a bird born out of fire that flourishes through the flames and has the ability to resurrect itself. So a lot of symbolism here. The phoenix coming out of the ashes, the burning fiat down here. And again, you guys have to remember, this Economist magazine was back from January of 1988. Just yesterday on Mornings with Maria, we have Judy Shelton with a phoenix brooch. Now, this was back from March, guys, from Val Jester Locke here at Nello Angelo 314. 589 isn't a price prediction. It's a monetary reset that involves the change of a financial system. Crypto and precious metals. So take note, this has to do with crypto and precious metals. 2018, like the 1988 magazine, we all know. So that 1988 magazine, guys, it's important to note that it is owned by the Rothschild family, The Economist, and the phoenix has been a very prominent symbol within the XRP community, obviously, you know, within the realm of the financial sector, burning currency to the ground and getting ready for a new world currency. Some are assuming it's XRP, some are assuming that it could be cryptocurrency in general, but it is very interesting that Judy Shelton would decide to wear a phoenix brooch. Not to mention that back in 2018, it also was discovered that the Rothschild family did hold XRP through, I believe it was through an SBI Holdings position. They mentioned this in one of their financial reports that year. I believe it was March 2018. The Edmund D. Rothschild Fund did hold a position in SBI, and at that time even SBI Holdings was linked to XRP. So interesting things, guys. Fast forward to today, and this is what we had from a couple of weeks ago. Judy Shelton did just tweet this. Actually, I don't work at the Fed yet. Now, this was a response to David Morgan's question here, or his statement. TMR was mentioned, Judy Shelton, more than once, but it is still hard to believe that this woman works at the Fed. Will this clip help people to wake up to the reality of the monetary system? And she did have to correct him. Actually, I don't work at the Fed. But then, guys, she put yet in here in brackets. So now this begs the question, if Donald Trump were to get in, would he replace Jerome Powell? Well, apparently, according to Politico, Trump wouldn't fire the Fed's Powell if reelected. I just happened to see this. This is just from last month. Former President Donald Trump would let Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell finish his term at the central bank if he is reelected, though he doesn't think the Fed should cut interest rates before November, he told Bloomberg. And here's the quote, "I would let him serve it out," Trump said, adding, "especially if I thought he was doing the right thing." According to Bloomberg, reporting on a conversation from June, Powell's term as chair ends in May of 2026. So maybe that is why Judy Shelton was predicting a return to the gold standard by 2026. So that's all very interesting. Well, his seat on the Fed board does not expire until 2028. But as a chair, guys, he would be done by 2026. Things that make you go, And Judy Shelton was commenting on that, I believe was back in no, that was the video I did a few months ago. So that was just in April of this year. So noting all that, I think we must also consider the Fed's position and their familiarity with XRP. Guys, this is a video that I did from 3 years ago, April 2021. This is David Andelfato from the Federal Reserve Bank in St. Louis. And guys, here's what he said about XRP a few years before I recorded this video. Watch this. Was because I saw this tweet here, guys. This from Jameel Kays. When you are shaken up, we look at this real value in the protocol with real utility. Buy and sit back. Just watch the show. He tagged me in this tweet. And this is David Andelfato from guess where? The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Listen to what he has to say.
And then what I can see coexisting alongside this institution is something like a Ripple platform, that currency-agnostic peer-to-peer payment system I just described that facilitates low-cost payments. So, potentially consumers can bypass Western, that $10 service fee. I mean, that's going to be a thing of the past. I mean, with Ripple, you'll be able to send money anywhere in the world for very, very, very low cost. So that's something that could come together, kind of this marriage of, well, I thought I'd end on a happy note. Don't they make a lovely couple? Thank you very much. I look forward to your questions.
So that was a video, that was the tail end of the video where he does discuss Ripple and XRP. There was another clip to that, and I'm going to play you guys this one as well. This is from the same presentation. Now, these clips are disjunct. I don't know why. They're all over the internet, and I believe that this presentation was actually cut up into chunks originally, and so we're only getting fragments of this. Let me play you guys this clip as well.
The effect of this and similar rulings serve to diminish the attractiveness of Bitcoins as currency. Does anybody use Ripple? Wow. I think you guys might be the winners. Because Ripple is a currency agnostic protocol. Bitcoin wants to be the money. Ripple, they have their native currency, but they don't necessarily. Ripple is a protocol that works very similarly to Bitcoin, but it's more interested in facilitating processing payments. But it'll process US dollars, euros, bitcoins, its native currency, it's currency agnostic. And so it's quite possible that this ruling actually benefits the payments processors as opposed to the virtual currencies that really want to be competing currency.
So did you guys just hear that? This tweet was actually brought to my attention by Ian Northing. He asks, do any of you guys own Ripple? Wow, you might just be the winners here. This is David Endelfado of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. So we've got the Federal Reserve connection, guys, talking up XRP, and I think this was even from 2014 or 2015. This was well before any type of real-world utility within crypto had ever gained a foothold, and this is what David Endelfado was saying at that time. We got Judy Shelton, a self-proclaimed gold bug, wanting to go back to the gold standard. She's also decided to like Ripple Wrestling Investor's tweet regarding XRP. We have her saying that there could be a change, that we will in fact go back to a gold standard by 2026. Coincidentally, the same time Jerome Powell's term ends as chair at the Federal Reserve. And then this tweet, guys, actually, I don't work at the Fed yet. Just for fun, I thought I'd ask Grok, is Judy Shelton looking to be the chair of the Federal Reserve? And let's see what it spits out here. And here we go again. This is Grok Mini on Fun Beta. So as of the last update in 2024, Judy Shelton's aspirations for the Federal Reserve seem to have taken a rather tumultuous journey initially. She was nominated by President Trump for a seat on the Federal Reserve Board, not explicitly for the chairmanship, but her controversial views, particularly her advocacy for the return to the gold standard and her perceived lack of commitment to the Fed's independence, stirred quite the pot in the Senate. So it doesn't look like Grok is willing to commit, or maybe down here. So to answer your question with a dash of humor, Judy's quest for a seat at the Fed, let alone the chair, has been more of a roller coaster than a straight path to power. As of now, her name isn't in the hat for the chair of the Federal Reserve, but in the world of politics, who? Maybe she's plotting her return with a new economic theory involving Bitcoin and gold nuggets. However, based on the information at hand, she's not currently looking to be the chair. I don't know, Grok. I don't know if I completely agree. I guess that's your opinion, and this is just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.